The Magic Show is brought to you by StarCityGames.com, and check this out. On August 21st and 22nd, the StarCityGames.com Open Series comes to Denver for the first time ever, and this event is going to be huge. We're talking hundreds of players, over $10,000 in cash prizes, at least 8 players qualifying for the 2010 StarCityGames.com Invitational, live coverage by Good Games Live featuring yours truly on the StarCityGames.com website, tons of side events, and as much Magic the Gathering as we can pack into one weekend. So make plans to join StarCityGames.com in Denver, and we'll see you there.
You're watching the Magic Show.
I'm what?
You're watching the Magic Show.
I'm what?
You're watching the Magic Show.
Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of The Magic Show. This week we're going to talk about the Magic Hall of Fame and a brand new spin, a Contributor Hall of Fame. We go over my Hall of Fame choices, what a new Hall of Fame may look like, and I spiel about my Mass Polymorph deck. Let's go! So this week, everyone is talking about Hall of Fame ballots, who they chose, why they chose them, and who is more worthy of getting a fat ring and lauded in a ceremony in Chiba, Japan this year. Before we talk about twists, let's get my votes out of the way. The first is Gabriel Nassif. Now, if you weren't aware, Nassif is a stone-cold master at Magic. A seasoned pro as well, Gabe brings a joy and vitality that is awesome to witness. His deck-building skills are unreal. Did I mention I watched him construct his extended deck for Worlds in Rome last year that morning, and he still won half his matches with it? Nassif is an all-star in all senses of the term. Smart, funny, cool, and amazing at slinging spells, plus he's been involved in 2 of the most exciting matches in Magic history. Let's watch his Dragonstorm match versus Patrick Chapin from World 2007.
If he ever hits Ignite Memories, he's
over
going to
Ignite
die.
Memories and hit right.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
2. This.
Great shot. Game's still
7.
in it. 7. He's going to have to shuffle every time. If Pat ever hits the Ignite Memories, I believe this game is over.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
One more grape shot.
I think 2 more.
Grape shot.
Oh, there's the grape shot. He's at 5 with 3 more coming.
We need 3 right
3 copies
here to stay alive.
2 rights on the grape shot. He's at 1.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Just missed the Ignite Memories, and Gabe still got a shot.
Kills it out.
What is it? What is it?
You have how many copies left?
3 more. Oh, this is the third. 2 more.
Great shot. He's still in it. It's got to be right. Can Nassif go runner?
2 more copies.
Nassif still got a shot. 2 copies left.
1 in 27.
Nassif knows it.
2 more copies?
No, 2. This and 1 more.
Nassif's got a shot.
I mean, 4 more
right
copies.
of flame, and then Nassif will
1 in
untap
9. 1 in 9 shots.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4.
Yes! Oh, he's still alive!
I want 1 more time.
Chapin can't believe this is happening. It's like you mulligan
1,
before.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
He hits the right of flame.
And you gotta flip it though. No peeking. I gotta see through.
Slam it.
Oh my goodness! Gabriel Nassif survives 5 copies of Ignite Memories. He's got 1 point of life left. Pat Chapin was looking at that scene in the finals. He thought he had it. Those odds were absurd.
On the mulligan to 4.
The mulligan to 4. Now, I don't know if Nassif can win. Look, it's... Wow.
But that's not all, of course. Nassif has another incredible moment in the top 8 of a Pro Tour, this time in Kyoto, where he had his infamous called shot just before he beat LSV in the finals to win the whole thing.
He's drawn the card face down in front of him, and he hasn't even looked at it yet. He's trying to figure out, what can it be? What do I need it to be? Arrange my lands. He's got a sort of sly smile on his face.
My ultimatum mana.
Oh, this is Ultimatum Mana. That's the card that he wants. Cruel Ultimatum. is the card he's hoping to top deck. And oh my God! Made him off the top! Wow! He arranged the mana in the shape of the one spell that he had to draw. Form of oh my goodness! Form of cool ultimatum.
So needless to say, Nassif has a resume unlike few others. Playing in 46 Pro Tours with 9 top 8 appearances and 2 wins, Nassif is a shoe-in like Finkel and Kai before him. To not vote for him is simply incorrect. Next up, Tomoharu Saito. Yes, the guy who just won Grand Prix Columbus a few weeks ago with Merfolk, one of the best deck designers alive and one of the best Magic players in the game. But wait, Saito once got himself in trouble. 9 years ago. Let's investigate. It appears that in 2001, at the APAC Region Championship, a player was unable to compete the following day and offered Tomoharu Saito a prize split for his concession. This was deemed bribery by the judges and Saito was disqualified without prize. Now, there are plenty of blemishes in the hall. Olivier Ruel was suspended for a period of time, and so has Bob the Great One Maher. I also feel like if you do something stupid 9 years ago, and have been nothing but upstanding from that point on, you're good in my book. Not to mention his stats are ridiculous. He's won 4 Grand Prix and a Team Pro Tour. Not a player that is auto-included on every list like Nassif, but I think Saito should get there. My next vote is for Bram Snepvangers. The bottom line is, not only can he play, I mean, he did just top 8 Worlds last year in Rome and is one of the only 2 people to ever defeat Kai Boot on Sunday, but he's been around forever, and by that I mean attending 62 freaking Pro Tours. There's only been 80 in the history of the game. But the real reason he gets so lauded is his community involvement. He's quite the tournament organizer in the Netherlands and has been integral to the game's success over there. If there's anything I can appreciate is community involvement, and Bram is obviously quite the player as well, with 4 Pro Tour top 8s and 8 GP top 8s. I hope he has his suit ready. Up next are a few wildcard picks. Beyond those 3 I mentioned, these are the picks that are up in the air for almost everybody. First up, Chris Pakula, the Meddling Mage, the Skywalker to Mike Long's Vader. Here was a player standing up for truth, justice, and no cheating in a time in which cheating, to some degree that no one can really define, was put up with. While I can certainly understand Saito's youthful indiscretions, it's another thing to have cards in your lap or draw extra cards when your opponent doesn't notice, and so on. Luckily, not only is Chris an upstanding guy lauded across the pro community, his resume rocks. 3 Pro Tour top 8s, 4 GP top 8s, and oh yeah, he did go to the Invitational twice, and the second one gave us Meddling Mage. And Meddling Mage for Hall of Fame? You betcha. My last vote is going to Brian Kibler. Yes, the man, the myth, the infectious charisma, it's all there. Here's a guy who plays from 1998 to 2004, then leaves the game to work on other stuff, and decides he's not only worthy of the Hall, he's going to prove it. As if 8 GP top 8s and 2 wins weren't enough, he returns to top 8 in Pro Tour Honolulu, wins Pro Tour Austin, top 8 GP Minneapolis, and emerges as champion in GP Sendai. Unreal. For me, the man who got 20% of the player vote last year deserves to put it over the top. He's currently involved in developing the awesomely fun Ascension, and I'm ready to see him inducted into the Hall for this great game of ours. And that's my ballot. I'm sure you have your own opinions as to who deserves it and who doesn't, and so be sure to share that ballot in the feedback. But let's flip this thing around, shall we? What if instead of a Pro Tour Hall of Fame, there was a Contributor Hall of Fame? Or perhaps even opening up the PT Hall of Fame to include those that don't just sling spells? I mean, don't other sports allow coaches, commentators, and other contributors in? How about we recognize those who do more than just play? How about Peter Atkinson, the guy who started WotC and initially invested in the idea of the game? How about Mark Rosewater, one of the most prolific and influential game designers in Magic's history? What about Flores, who paved many a theoretical road that we writers now ride on? Or Wakefield, the king of fatties, in his quest to bring us more than a dry tournament report every week? How about Sheldon Minery, one of the most important figures in the game and the cornerstone of the awesome Judge program? All I'm saying is there is more to this game than decision trees, and perhaps at some point we can start thinking about moving onward and upward in terms of recognizing those who have given more than their fair share of effort in making it great. A few weeks ago, as M11 was being spoiled, it was clear I liked Mass Polymorph. This card has been likened to Tooth and Nail, and I'm a big proponent of that card too, so what can be done here? I knew the pieces were there, I just needed to put them in the right order. So after a week or so of building, allow me to introduce Mass Polymorph. Oh man, is this deck a blast to play. The formula is simple. You use Eldrazi spawn guys to get mana to play Mass Polymorph and creatures to exile. After resolving Mass Polymorph, you usually win. I don't know how else to put it. Flipping over Primeval Titan or Avenger of Zendikar is often game over, and both in tandem usually ensure it. But why stop the fun? I flipped an Avenger of Zendikar with the first Mass Polymorph only to flip over my entire deck the following turn when I didn't have enough to overwhelm my opponent's Avenger of Zendikar and associated tokens. The best part of this deck is that it outramps the ramp decks, as your Eldrazi spawn can give you a pretty consistent turn 4 Mass Polymorph, and it outfatties the ramp deck too. I see your Avenger of Zendikar and I raise you 3 of them. Nice answers. Here's a Terracodon to nail your Planeswalkers, Oblivion Rings, and any other annoyances you put forth. Now, as with any deck that relies on one spell resolving, decks that counter those spells are troublesome, and that's mainly where the sideboard is focused. Now, first you have your 4 anti-Jund Baloths, along with Flash Freezes to really stick it in and break it off, as well as being very effective against the Naya Shaman deck. After that, you have the anti-blue-white control package, 3 negates for counter wars, 2 mind controls for their Sun Titans or Baneslayer Angels, and the coup de grace, 3 Spell Pierce. Oh man, how many times I've gotten blue-white controllers with that card. In today's mana-leaked world, players are always on guard when 2 mana is left up. But 1 mana? Sure, I'll run this Jace the Mind Sculptor into your Spell Pierce. Oh, how's about Elspeth? Yeah, she's a non-creature spell. While this may not be the perfect card for the sideboard, it is certainly the most brutal when used effectively. Many times you'll be a mana or so ahead of blue-white, and Spell Pierce is just the card I was looking for to really punish them. So where to go from here? I'm not sure. I originally began the deck with red mana, including Lightning Bolt and Siege Gang Commander. Neither of those were really exciting or worth it, at least not when you can just flip over Primeval Titan instead. How about black, where you get Maelstrom Pulse and Grave Titan? Well, there's always white, of course, providing Path to Exile and Captain of the Watch's token-making ability, along with the Sun Titan keeping those Oblivion Rings coming back. All I know is this build is solid and a hell of a lot better than most are giving it credit for. Next week is U.S. Nationals and the SCG Open in Denver, which I'll be at live and broadcasting both days courtesy of Good Games Live. I hope all of you guys can join me there and check out all of the sweet Standard and Legacy action. Until next week, Magic players, this is Evan Irwin, tapping the cards so you don't have to.
I always like the fatties.